Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's a big day. Headed up to Pig Trail Harley Davidson in Rogers, Arkansas. Going to be looking at a new bike. The Softail Slim has been a good bike for the last 3 years, but it's time to make a change, and so that's what we're going to do today. So let's go for a ride. As for now, that is all.
All right, we're ready when you are. Look out, it's gonna be loud, guys. Go.
Well, I did it, guys. I rung the bell and traded in my Softail Slim for a Street Glide. So today we're just going to talk about my first impressions of the Street Glide and what I think about it so far. This is not going to be a full review or anything like that, but just my first impressions of what I think about this Street Glide. First of all, the Softail Slim was a great bike. I bought it 3 years ago this same time of year and had a lot of fun customizing it and making my own. We traveled all over the place. Threw a sissy bar on it and got a nice sissy bar bag, and I went everywhere. And even on the daily trips I had to carry a small sissy bar bag to keep everything in it that I needed maybe on that trip. But we traveled all over. That bike and I rode that bike at Sturgis, rode it out to West Texas, to Louisville, Kentucky, from here in Arkansas. It was a great bike, and you could ride and tour and do anything you wanted to on that bike, and I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to ride. But with the kind of riding I'm planning on doing this year and the kind of riding I love to do, you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever been on that long solo ride out in the middle of nowhere by yourself, once you've experienced that, you want to continue
to do it. You become addicted. It gets in your soul, and that's what you long to do. Any ride is good. I've always said there's no bad rides, but once you've done that, the long ride is what you want to do. So I was thinking that this year was time to make that change. I recently, as you know, if you follow the channel, I've got a Road King Classic, a 2005 Road King Classic. Love that bike. But the kind of riding I want to do this year, as we're going to ride out to Colorado and do some other long rides, that's the kind of riding I like to do. I needed to step up to a bigger touring model bike, and so that's the reason that I made the jump. It wasn't because I didn't like the bike, that the Softail Slim wasn't a great bike. I mean, if you're looking for a bike, there's nothing wrong with that Softail Slim in the cruiser line there. It's no longer available, but you can find some good used ones out there, I'm sure, and I would recommend that bike wholeheartedly. But I went with the Street Glide because it was just time. It was time to step up because of the riding that I'm going to do this year and in years to come. And so the first impressions that I have of this bike, as I rode my Softail Slim up to Rogers, Arkansas, to Pig Trail Harley Davidson. It's about an hour and a half up there from where I live, and so by the time I got out there, when I left, it was in the low to mid 40s here, and by the time I got up there, I was ready to get inside and warm up a little bit. I know that's not terribly cold, but at speeds, that wind chill can get to you. And so I was ready to warm up, and so once I looked at the bike and once we got all the paperwork done and I rung the bell, got on this bike and headed back down the hill to Fort Smith. It wasn't long before I noticed a big difference in the ride of the touring model, as well as this fairing in front of me. So the ride back to Fort Smith was much more pleasant, for sure. This bike is set up so much better for the kind of riding that I want to do. I was amazed at these things they call saddlebags on the side of the bike. How much room I had to put all my things in on my day trips and things like that. I wouldn't even have to have an extra bag now. I can just ride it like it is. Just a few things that I would change about it, and that I'm going to change about it. If you can see these mirrors, I don't know if you can, but if you can see them, well, you can't see out of them. So we're going to be changing that for sure. I like to be able to see my surroundings. I'll also be upgrading the suspension in the rear, probably with some air suspension, some air ride. Other than that, right now, maybe roll these bars back just a little bit. My arms are extended about as far as they can go, and so it makes the slow maneuvering tough when they don't reach. But other than that, this bike is ready to go, and looking forward to see what I can do to this thing to make it my own, as I did with the Softail Slim. Like I said, this isn't a full review. This is just my impressions of the first time owning a touring model like this. And so far I am really enjoying it and really impressed with it. I love the fairing. I know I said in the previous videos with my Road King that just the pureness of the ride of the Road King without a big fairing on it and without all the music and all the things of that nature, and we'll go into that in a later video. But both of these bikes have a place, and I'm going to enjoy this one for sure on my long trips. This is a bike I've been thinking about getting for probably 4 years. It's been on my list that I wanted to get a Street Glide. At some point I was going to get there, starting out with the Sportster, onto the Softail Slim, and now here. I just want to thank Pig Trail Harley Davidson in Rogers, Arkansas, and KC, Kyle Croft up there, for all the work they did for me. I can't recommend them enough. If you're in search of a new or a pre-owned motorcycle, Harley Davidson, give them a shout. They will work hard for you to make your dreams come true and to put you on the road in the Harley Davidson of your dreams. Again, thank you to them for putting me on the bike I've been wanting to be on for a long time. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys, the subscribers, for tuning in and watching me every week. I put out these videos. I try not to get too involved in all the views, how many views I'm getting. I'm getting a lot of comments, you know. I just want to keep it to, if my video, if it just touches one or two and inspires a few to get out and ride and to do some things, that's all I really care for. So I appreciate you guys watching. I thank you as we grow this channel and we are able to help some vets in the near future. Just keep commenting, keep giving me some feedback. I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay safe out there, and as for now, that is all.